Introducing Phase 7, the bold, flashy new look refreshing Amtrak's image. Over the last year and a half, this scheme has been slowly taking over from the mix of Phases 3, 5, and 6, or 4B. There's been much discussion and debate surrounding this new livery because of its untraditional look compared to previous Amtrak phases. Join me today as we analyze Phase 7, its design choices, and the logic behind it all. Phase 7 was first announced in 2021 during Amtrak's 50th anniversary celebration. Following the announcement of the first 9 then-new Siemens ALC-42 locomotives being painted into Phase 6 and ALC-301 receiving the Day 1 livery, Amtrak announced that Phase 7 would officially be coming to the fleet. A new livery to accompany new equipment is a long-standing tradition for Amtrak. A couple of past examples include the introduction of Phase 5 with the Legacy Acela and the introduction of Phase 2 with the E60 fleet. However, unlike previous phases that usually incorporated some kind of striping, Phase 7 has taken a vastly different approach, featuring a bold red face followed by contrasting blues, all separated by large white arcs. Additionally, the sill striping on Phase 7 has been upgraded to a dual white and red stripe for increased visibility. Here is a comparison of two AM fleets to show the difference. With this comparison, we can now transition into rolling stock wears a similar design to the locomotive livery. One of, if not the biggest focal point of Phase 7 on rolling stock is the introduction of color coding for ticket class or service types. This was not immediately known at first, as the first passenger car to receive Phase 7 was a Viewliner 1 sleeper which wore the same red found on locomotives. That would change in March of 2025 when the first 2 AM fleets were outshopped from Amtrak's bare shops in their new colors. Instead of red, the car's ends bore a bright green for coach class. Later on, business class cars would start receiving Phase 7 as well, sporting a bright blue on the ends. The first car to display this blue was in fact a Cafe Club AM fleet instead of a full business class AM fleet. For car ends that aren't relevant to passenger wayfinding, Amtrak blue ends are used as seen here on this diner. Food service cars were originally going to bear orange ends, however this was deemed unbeneficial for wayfinding on older cars, but this will still be used for wayfinding on the upcoming Arrows. Here is a rough edit I have made to give an idea of how that would have looked on an Amfleet Cafe. Car ends without doors are muted per se with Amtrak blue, such as Metroliner cab cars, with the exception of the Superliner fleet. Speaking of Superliners, another big talking point has been the appearance of Phase 7 on them. Ahead of the first car getting its makeover, there was a lot of speculation on what size vinyl bands they would be dressed with. Many people, myself included, had hoped for a return to Phase 2 and 3 style thick bands. This would be confirmed not to be the case when a rendering of a Superliner sleeper was teased, showing that the fleet would in fact retain its thin bands. But why is this? In order to understand that, we must turn the clock back to the mid-1990s during the rollout of my personal favorite Amtrak livery, Phase 4. Amtrak's Phase 4 livery was first introduced in late 1993 with the introduction of the Superliner 2 fleet. In a stark contrast to the large bold bands of Phase 3, Phase 4 had thinner bands with bold Superliner text to fill the negative space. This is just speculation on my part, but I believe what warranted this change was the transition sleepers having the same corrugated and paneled sides found on the Superliners, making it unfeasible to apply full striping. Here are a few of my own models to demonstrate. Lining up a P42 with a Superliner, the tops of the stripes roughly match, maintaining a consistent through line along the train, albeit not always matching depending on what type of baggage car was up front. This design trend has continued with Phase 7 as Viewliner baggage cars come due for livery renewal. While it has not happened much yet, this is what the match will look like, and hopefully this provides some context for those who want to understand why Amtrak has kept these thin bands. But the color coding doesn't just stop at the exterior. Amtrak plans to integrate the color coding into more visual elements of its trains. With the introduction of the Aero train sets on the Northeast Corridor, a few added design choices found in the interior renders include color-accented door markers, carpeting, seat tags, and signage in car vestibules. On top of those elements, ticketing will also receive this treatment, with the colors expecting to be added to ticket interfaces in the near future. Outside of revenue service, Amtrak's newest technical car, Corridor View, sports a bright yellow, which presumably will be applied to other cars in the maintenance of way fleet. Other maintenance vehicles have started to receive it too, with the majority of the recently acquired GP38-3 locomotives getting it first. Presumably, it will be applied to existing maintenance motive power when units are cycled in for livery renewal. Beyond locomotives, however, I suspect specialized maintenance of way equipment will retain the distinctive bold lime. As 2026 marches on, Phase 7 will continue to become more prominent on Amtrak as cars and locomotives are serviced. This transitionary period has created a new sort of rainbow era for Amtrak as consists display a mix of Phases 3, 5, 6, and 7. As time goes on, this mix will slowly shift into all Phase 7 and fully modernize Amtrak's brand image. But what do you think of it? Is it the refresh Amtrak has needed, or does Phase 3 need a comeback? Tell me your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. And if you want to see more from me, click on the end screens appearing now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.